So we're here at Pillar Cafe in Burwood, and I'm joined with Houman.
Hi, Jay.
Nice to meet you. Finally, it's been a while.
It has been a while.
Yeah, we just had our coffees, had our food, and now we're just sitting down and we're having a conversation because it's been so long since we've last done something like this, and it's usually Houman
Doing the interview.
behind the camera doing the interview. So I thought, now it's time for me to ask the questions. So
And I feel the pressure because I'm not usually in front of the camera.
I'm feeling the pressure because I have to interview, and I've never done interviews before. So before we begin, we're here at Pillar Cafe, and as you can see behind me, we've got photos on the wall. And it just so happens that we're sitting behind Houman's photos. His exhibition is currently on, but unfortunately, by the time this video goes live, it will be gone. But how does it feel to finally have your photos on the wall like this?
Look, to be honest, it's obviously an amazing feeling to have your work printed as opposed to on a small screen. But my favorite part is actually just this, you being here. I've got friends sitting behind, there's people outside sitting. The launch that was Saturday, there was heaps of people here, not just for me, obviously Jefferson's work here as well. But this is something amazing that Jefferson and Dan are doing. And my favorite part is the community bit. Yeah, it's great to have my photos on a wall, getting the comments and all that. It's wonderful. But for me, the best thing is having you guys around. So thanks for having me and thanks for coming to visit.
Oh no, thank you to everyone who has managed to come to the exhibition and support these photographers. There's going to be more photographers later on, but today is going to be about Houman himself. So you're a busy guy. You've just recently started working again.
Yes.
And I'm not sure, am I allowed to talk
Yeah,
about it?
yeah,
You've
sure.
got another kid coming.
I've got another kid
soon.
coming on the way.
Congratulations.
Just keep adding up, yeah.
And so you're leading such a busy life. Like, what I want to know is, how do you find time to juggle photography these days? Like, what keeps you going?
The first thing I gotta say, it's all my wife. She is incredible. She's a superhero from that perspective. She does a lot for the family, and that enables me to be able to do things like this. Photography alone, to be honest, Jay, I haven't had too much time, at least over the last 2-3 weeks, to dedicate anything more than 5 or 10 minutes that I get on the way to work or on a coffee break, or just being out here for a few minutes. I haven't had that time. I do miss it. I have this desire to have my camera in my hand and be outside and get into that state of flow that I think we all just love so much. And I haven't had that, so that's killing me. But I think this is also very important as well. The social aspect of photography, the community aspect of photography is really, really important to me. And having people who are like-minded, who appreciate the same art form, is just as important as the photography bit. So making time for it is not easy, but I owe a lot of that to my wife.
Nice. Speaking about, social aspect of photography, for you guys out there who don't really know, Houman is also a YouTuber like me, and he runs a YouTube channel where he basically hangs out with other photographers and gets to know them. And currently sitting on 2K subscribers, just a little over 2K, and he has surpassed over 100 videos. So one photographer per video, you can do the math, but basically Houman has done a lot for the photography community here, not just here in Sydney, but worldwide too, because you've gone overseas.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, so
overseas.
talk us a little bit about what got you started in photography and how it basically transitioned into you wanting to do these sorts of interviews and interacting with other photographers.
Sure. The photography bit, I'll give you the short version, which is the street photography, if we can call it that, which was really accidental. I went from landscape photography, kind of getting over repeating myself all the time, and then having my camera with me when I'm in the city, and realizing I'm getting more and more interested in photographing people with architecture, light, shadows, and started to meet other people who were like-minded, and that really got me to understand what's street photography. What does it mean? How do I form my own visual style of photography? As I was doing that, I was having a lot of conversations with people like John, Ben, yourself, Tim, everyone. And I'm like, oh, these could be actually recorded. I could probably record these because I really enjoy the learning aspect as much as the social aspect as well. So I've always wanted to do YouTube. I don't know why. And I thought this was a really perfect time to start filming these conversations and then sharing it, because I love to learn new things. I love the feeling of being able to help somebody else. So I've thought I can take out two birds with one stone, and start doing YouTube. And as you mentioned recently, I was on a family holiday. I don't know how it all worked out, but we were in Norway, Oslo, Norway. Morten, I think his handle was Morten Clicks. He was kind enough not to only show me the city, but also spend half a day with me and do a video with me as well. And then same in London. Hugh, I forget his surname, but Hugh also traveled half an hour or an hour, I think, from outside of London to come visit me, show me around London. Had a lovely conversation with him as well. Filmed that. That's also on my YouTube channel. But how small is this world, right? You meet people online through social media, through Instagram. Send them a message. Hey, Morten, I'm going to be in Oslo on this date. Are you available by chance? Yes, I am. Amazing. I've got friends around the world that I can just reach out to and not only have a coffee with, but actually have a conversation with as well.
Nice. It's really good to hear that because, for the last couple of years, not a lot of activity has been going on in the street photography scene, especially here in Sydney. I feel like you're amongst one of the very few people who have managed to take that a little step further and sort of kind of bring people together, bring the community closer together, and really bring showcase street photography in a way that most people wouldn't have otherwise known. Like things like Rosa and this Creative Blend project are just a few, but you're going at it solo, and with your busy schedule and all that, I just feel like it's really impressive. I've never told you this, but super impressed, super inspired by what you're doing. And it's just I wouldn't have done it myself.
Sure you would have.
You stepped up and you handled it, and
thank you.
It's amazing
Very
stuff.
humbling. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
But we're talking about your photos on the wall right now. This is part of your zine that you released in 2024?
Yes, this is about, it's pretty beat up now, but this was my first kind of attempt to put a book together. I remember at the time, I take photography very seriously. You know how much I love it, and I think you do as well. And everyone was saying that in order for you to become a serious photographer, you need to work on projects and put projects out. So this was my attempt of making my first book or zine, having a cohesive body of work that goes together and has a story. It's supposed to represent what's important to me in life, which is my family, photography, travel, and the community. So all coming together in my first book that has been out for a year, and I've got about 10-ish or 11-ish copies left at the moment, and the support from the community has been amazing. To have the photos on the wall as well is pretty cool.
So Houman still has a few books left. So if you guys are interested, make sure you reach out to him on social media. And if he's still got a few copies left, get it quick because it's an amazing book. I own one, and it's very unique. That's all I can say. I won't spoil too much, but incredible stuff.
Thank you.
When you look back at the photos in your current zine, how do you feel your current work or your current progression of photography has changed? Do you feel like you've gotten much better over the years, or do you feel like you've just changed the perspective on the way you see the same scene that you would have seen?
It's a very good question. I think photography has evolved for me quite a bit. I think everyone, when they start out, they're experimenting a lot, right? They may use different cameras, different focal lengths. They may do black and white and color, or color only, or black and white only. And as you progress and trial things, you start to kind of not only get better at photography, but also find your own voice, find your own unique voice. And this stuff I love. I'm very proud of this work, and I wouldn't change anything about it. But some of this stuff is very, what I would probably consider more fine art, more, I don't want to say hollow, but it's just really pretty to look at. So you've got something like on that corner over there where you've got these little spotlights, a subject coming through, and I love that image, but I much prefer something like that up there where there's a more of an intimate story unfolding. So what I do currently is a lot more around trying to tell stories for photography, trying to capture the essence of the places I've traveled to, find unique moments that are not going to repeat themselves again. And I'm really conscious of being able to make photos that are not meaningless. They're not super easy or super quick to make, and photos that I can look back in 10, 20 years and still be proud of.
That's amazing, yeah. We're going to take a quick break from all these deep and meaningfuls and just do a little bit of a change up. what is your camera of choice and what is your focal length of choice? Because I'm sure there are people out there who are very keen to know what you shoot with on a day-to-day.
Sure. As you know, I started on a 28mm and only shot on that for 2 years, and I got really good at that focal length, but I also felt like it was very limiting. So at the moment, I'm on a Leica M11 monochrome. If you follow my work, you know that I only shoot in monochrome, and currently mainly on the 50mm. I think that's just a really classic frame line, and I really enjoy it. It's iconic. It's got a very unique look. It lets you get a little bit closer to a scene and really highlight a specific element of the scene. So I love that, but I still dabble back and forth between a 28 and I'm experimenting with the 90 as well.
Fantastic. Now you mentioned that you shoot predominantly in black and white, or exclusively in black and white. Is that a conscious decision on your part because
100%.
of a certain style, or do you just gravitate towards black and white, like you see the world in black and white?
Honestly, no. I actually struggled for the first probably year. I've always shot in color, but just, let's call it faith or leap of faith. I just, for some reason, wanted to go and just do black and white. I didn't realize why. It took me a while to realize that the reason behind it is that when you shoot in black and white, you're using a black canvas to paint with light. And light, as you well know, Jay, because you do a lot of light work, light and shadow work, light changes everything. You can take a very ordinary scene and make it extremely extraordinary by just the right light coming and shining through on the right subject. It can be very emotional, it can be very provocative. It just makes things a lot more interesting and intimate and exciting. When you do color can be very distracting. I mean, any of these images you look at, that one on the top over there, you'll see the colors of the ocean, the color of the sky, the bathing suit, the suit that the person is wearing. That can really distract from the story, where black and white, you're really only seeing the story unfolding. And whatever the light is touching, that's all you're seeing and nothing else.
Nice. Now, I won't really, it's not, basically, I won't hold it against you if you answer incorrectly, but is there ever going to be a time where you want to experiment with color at any point?
You can never say no, right? Like, you can never say no. One of the photographers I look up to, Knox Birdie, a local photographer here in Sydney, I've seen some of his recent work. It's color, it's maybe just 2 or 3 colors. It's still, sort of monochromatic in a way. And I don't mind it at all. I think it looks stunning, but those are very selective frames I think Knox has chosen. And there's an element of light, heavy light involved. So for now, no, but in future, you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. You mentioned Knox Birdie. Are there any other, I guess, either local or international photographers that,
Oh my gosh.
they don't have to be famous. They could be
Sure.
people you've interviewed, or not me, obviously, that have inspired you or have taught you something during your interviews that kind of stayed with you during your shoots every time you go out now?
Honestly, we have incredible talent in Sydney, and I look at your work. I know you said not to talk about you, but I look at your work, and you've got some incredible work. I love your commute work. I think it's fantastic. There's Christian, who I forget his handle.
We'll put the handle on the
Yeah,
screen.
we'll put the handles in the description. His recent work is, I think, amazing. He's starting to really look at little elements of subtle parts of a scene that are very interesting and unique, capturing that. Photography is very inspiring. Like, I can look around and look at local people that I've interviewed, as you mentioned. I can think about Trent Park, who I think is incredible work. Henry Cartier-Bresson is probably my favorite of all time. Just the master of 50mm, the master of composition. But I get easily inspired by anyone's work. Cinematography, local photographers, international photographers, color work, as well as black and white work. I think photography is such an incredible art form. There is so many different genres and so much talent out there that you can be really easily inspired by anyone's work. But those few that I've pointed out, including yourself, I think are some of the people that when you post a carousel, I'll take my time when I go through every image and I'll look at it. Some of Alex's recent work, Alex is sitting out there. I had him on a different episode talking about his King's Cross work. Incredible color work, the way he's using color with a specific iconic location in Sydney, the way the light's coming through. He's done an absolutely marvelous job with that as well. So there's a lot of photographers to be inspired by here locally.
Yeah, nice. So it's just like, it doesn't matter what kind of style you shoot, you can always appreciate other people's
100%,
work.
yeah, 100%.
You know, either in landscape or architecture.
I love landscape.
Just because
Yep.
you're a street photographer, you know, it doesn't mean that you focus solely on that street and that niche that you're in. It's nice to just appreciate, you know, fellow photographers and their art and how they focused it and honed in on it and just made it perfect. So yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, of course,
Houman.
of course.
But finally, I think we're gonna wrap things up slowly, but any future plans, any projects in the works,
Ooh.
things that you may not have shared with anyone but might want to share now, now that we're here in an interview?
So, late October, there is a full exhibition. It's not just my work. It's myself, Ben, Simon, and Steve, Zone Focus. We've got a exhibition opening up that's much larger than this in an actual gallery in Newtown. I'll talk about my body of work. It's going to be called Sydney in Motion. It's roughly about 2 to 3 years worth of photos of me commuting, but it's not just commute, I promise. It's a story around how Sydney changes. The people through the eye of motion, going to work, going home, on a train. Can't say too much more, but I'm super excited. There'll be a book launching alongside the exhibition as well.
Fantastic. And yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. We did talk about this, like, you
I'll
know,
give you a sneak peek, Jay.
privately, but we might give you a sneak peek in the B-roll section.
Maybe.
But yeah, like, thank you so much for sitting down
Thanks for
with
having
me
me,
and
Jay.
having a
Really
chat.
appreciate it.
You know, we hope to do this again some other time, and I hope to do more interviews. Maybe we'll see how it goes. See how this goes. We'll do a walkie-talkie next time, Paulie B. All right, thanks, man.
Thanks, Jay. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I can feel my armpits sweating out.
Same.
Just dripping down the sides.
Gotta go home
Done?
and shower after this.